Hello. Ray Franz has been disfellowshipped and has now written an appeal letter, but he's still waiting for a direct response to his inquiry to the governing body directly. Will they respond? By now, however, I had little doubt but that the governing body had no intention of answering my letter. 1 month had already passed, and they were well aware of my circumstances and how critically some statement from them was needed. From my years of experience on the body, I knew that, though preferring to remain in the background, they were very definitely kept informed of every development in my case. The service department would be expected to pass on all information, and it, in turn, would be supplied with reports from the circuit overseer. Both the actions and the expressions made by the local elders indicated that procedures were orchestrated from the center of authority through the circuit overseer. The center of authority, the governing body, was willing to communicate with those who were judging me, doing so through their service department, but they were not willing to respond to my petition written to them, not even to acknowledge receipt of the letter. So on December 11th, 7 weeks after my initial letter, I again wrote the governing body, sending them a copy of my appeal letter and reminding them of my letter to them, dated November 5. Exactly 7 days after submitting my appeal letter, Elder French phoned to tell me an appeal committee had been formed, naming the members selected. 3 days passed and another phone call came. He was informing me that the appeal committee would meet with me on Sunday. I told him I had written him asking for the specific names of the committee members. He had only given me family names of a couple of them. And it said I would be asking for a change in the committee membership. When I inquired why these particular men had been selected, his reply was that Wesley Benner, the Society's representative, had selected them. Those he had chosen as appeal committee members were Willie Anderson, Earl Parnell, and Rob Dibble. In view of the fact that the principal charge against me was my association with Peter Gregerson, I found this selection incredible. Every one of these men was very unlikely to show objectivity where Peter was concerned. As I pointed out in a letter to the Gadsden elders, although they themselves already knew it, Willie Anderson had been at the head of a committee that created a considerable stir in Gadsden in its handling of a large number of young people in the local congregations. Peter Gregerson had appealed to the Brooklyn headquarters to send in a review committee, and when this was done, the committee headed by Willie Anderson was found to have been excessive in a number of its actions. This had a noticeable effect on the relationship between Elder Anderson and Peter Gregerson thereafter. Circuit Overseer Benner's selection of Earl Parnell was even harder to fathom. One of Peter Gregerson's daughters had been married to a son of Elder Parnell, but had recently obtained a divorce from him. The strained relations between the two sets of parents were obvious. Circuit Overseer Benner knew of the divorce action, and one would think would also have been sensitive enough to have realized how inappropriate it would be to assign Elder Parnell to a case in which Peter Gregerson was a central figure. Similarly with Rob Dibble, he was Elder Parnell's son-in-law, his wife being the sister of the Parnell son, recently divorced by Peter Gregerson's daughter. As I wrote to the Gadsden elders, I found it difficult to think of a committee of 3 men that would have less to recommend it for an unbiased, objective hearing. The only way I could see any logic to the selection would be if an adverse decision was somehow being deliberately sought. In my letter, I requested that a totally different special committee or appeal committee be selected. The same day I wrote these letters, December the 20th, yet another phone call came from Elder French. The appeal committee wanted to inform me that they would meet on the next day, Monday, and would hold the hearing whether I was present or not. I told Elder French I had written requesting a change in the committee and had written to the Brooklyn headquarters as well. I delivered copies of these letters directly to his home the next day, Monday. 2 days later, December 23rd, Wednesday, the following note came by registered mail. I just wanted to show you the note, which you can see is hand scribbled. And here's what Theodis French said in the note. Ray Franz, not Brother Franz this time, Ray Franz, The meeting that was set for Thursday, December 24th at 7 p.m. at the East Gadsden congregation, or actually it looks more like congregation, has been changed to December 28th, 1981 at 7 p.m. at the East Gadsden period. Would very much like, with those words very much like underlined, to see you there, Theodis French. No one had said anything to me about a proposed meeting on Thursday, but the above note was my official notice of a December 28 meeting, Monday. In the next segment, Ray faces new charges, or at least finds out that someone is seeking new charges to accuse him of.